Welcome, everybody, to the Hibiscus Sports Complex as Nothing But Net Media, the Australian Sports Network, Stream Team Australia, and, of course, Basketball Queensland bring to you your QBL Game of the Week featuring the Logan Thunder taking on the Southwest Metro Pirates. I'm John Guarna. I'm joined by former Pirates player, coach, and GM Dave Derwin, also former QBL champion and Siebel All-Star Dan George, former QBL referee Regan Baker. Guys, huge game here tonight. Not only is it the Charity Shield between the Logan Thunder and the Southwest Metro Pirates, both teams have an opportunity to secure a final spot depending on this result. The stakes cannot be any higher than what we have here tonight.
Yeah, they certainly can, and Isaiah Edwards showing us his little pre-game dunk contest, which is a pretty solid game. Better than the one we saw last week, Johnny, with the Spartans and about 900 misses on their dunks. But anyway, focused on playoffs. Pirates get the win. They're a good show of finishing 8. And again, for Logan, if they can get a win, and if it all works out, they might sneak up to 7th and hold on to 7.
Yeah, so the games to keep an eye on, sorry to cut you off, is the University of Sunshine Coast Rip and North Gold Coast, Brisbane Capitals and Sunshine Coast Phoenix as well. So those two games, depending on those results, and the result here tonight is going to tell us how that final ladder looks. Huge one here, though. Pirates, you wouldn't have thought earlier in the season that they'd have an opportunity heading into round 15 to make the finals. Bit surprising, but they have a lot on the line. They're going to have to do it without one of their big players in Nelson Larkins. We see him on crutches and with the knee brace. How do Pirates adjust to life without their point guard?
It's a difficult question to answer, and I think it's a matter of 1 or 2 guys stepping up. Might not be enough. It's probably 4 or 5 guys stepping up to cover the loss of one of your top players, but I think if we go back for the last few years, they've always had import bigs with Ryan Vines at the 1. And I guess now tonight with Nelson not here, we go back with Ryan Vines as the 1 and trying to feed Jared Bairstow and the like, and a little bit more of the Pirates of what we've seen in previous years. So they're more than capable of covering Nelson's absence, but it's obviously going to be a big ask. Whereas on the other end, Logan are on paper really talented and should easily be a playoff team and probably have underperformed this year, would be fair to say. So it's going to be a great match to see which of these squads, the talented group who've underperformed or the group of guys that are a bit depleted but really hungry at home, who's going to come out on top. So it's going to be a great night of basketball.
Yeah, and I've streamed every single game for the Southwest Pirates at home here this season, and this group at the start of the season was incredibly shaky, and throughout, as they got their new imports in and they started to emerge as a team, they've really come a long way in the last couple of rounds, and they're in this position now where they can make the top 8. Nelson being out is definitely not ideal, but we've seen some boys step up, especially in the likes of Max Curl. He's come in some games scoring 20-plus points and doing a really great game as a leader on the floor as well. So it is going to be a really, really great matchup between these two teams, and we'll just wait and see who makes that position.
No Henry Poino either. Logan would be disappointed that they're in this position. They had an opportunity to secure a home final spot last week. They dropped a tough one to Sunshine Coast Phoenix, so it's going to be an interesting game here tonight. Referees for tonight's matchup, we've got Matty Crowley, Warwick Brown, and of course Mark Mill about to jump the ball. It's won by Southwest. They'll have the first possession. Logan again in their road whites. Croft has it, looking inside. Pass is turned over. Here comes Simmons. Simmons pulls it up, swings it to Cedar from the wing. 3 is up. Off the back of the rim, Vines a defensive rebound. Now I talked to Brayden Hasselhurst.
We've got two Pirates posting up on the same block here, so a little bit disorganized to start. Sorry, Johnny, go ahead. You're talking to Brayden.
During our podcast, and I asked him what happened to Logan last weekend, and he said they've struggled all season defensively. They finally got a pretty good defensive game, but then they struggled to score offensively last week against Sunshine Coast Phoenix, and I think that game is a microcosm of the entire Logan season. It's been an up and down year, and last week it was down, so you hope if you're a Thunder fan, they can bounce back in this one. Don't forget, if you are tuning into the game on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, let us know in the comments that you're watching, where you're watching from, so we could get you a shout out.
Yeah, Poimo, Johnny, signed a pro contract overseas, and so I'm assuming, because I know that he was requesting to leave early, so I'm assuming that something got worked out there, and that's why he's not in.
Here's Pollock going right at the rim to lay it up and in. First points of the game go to Pirates.
And I think, to your point too, Thunder early on, obviously no Larkins, and he's 18 points and 4 assists. But I think the likes of the Pang and the Pollock and Curl, I think that's going to be, you kind of expect Croft and Vines and Bairstow to do what they do. But I think, for me, if Pollock and Curl and Pangy can do a really good job and give them 27 to 30 collectively, I think that'll really help the Pirates fill those spots.
And I think it's important for the Pirates at home, especially without one of their top scorers, to establish inside presence. That doesn't necessarily mean post-ups, but as Cedar walks in for a layup, that's what the Pirates need to do. Get feet in the paint, looks at the rim, get to the foul line, and just start things ticking over just to give themselves some confidence here.
Well, it's a frenetic pace to start this one. Not many points in it yet as Pollock
Great
gets
job.
another layup to fall.
Yeah, and that's what they've actually lacked, a little bit of that what Max Curl and Pollock can do is just that movement off the ball. And Croft's been a really good passer too out of the post this year.
Good job by Pang to force the turnover, but Pirates step out of bounds. It's going to be Logan ball along the baseline with 10 seconds to go on the shot clock. Referee's having a chat along the baseline. Not really sure what they could be chatting about.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was just going to say, what are they possibly chatting about? I thought Pangy did a good job putting his body on the line, so I'm not sure.
Well, I thought so too.
Looked like he got caught square in the shoulders, and you better guard him.
Tommy Amar, long two, ties the game at 4. Vines pushing the pace, dumps it off for Croft to lay it in with the right hand.
And that's what I was saying a minute ago. Ryan Vines gets it to the rim, feet in the paint, easy lap for his big. And that's a steady diet of what they need to give Logan, who are a little bit shaky from what you were just saying a minute ago. Obviously, Johnny on their season. The more pressure running downhill that the Pirates can put on them early, the better for the rest of the game. But I don't know what the hell that was. You got to lay that up.
Jackson Pollock turns it over. Here comes Logan. Jeffries with the left hand finishes. We're tied at 6. Here's Pang. Steps into a jump shot. That's good.
I was going to say, he better hit it.
I thought he was putting it up for Croft.
Because Big Crofty was saying, give me the ball.
Jeffries over to Cedar. They skip it to Simmons. Back to Jeffries. He'll fire a 3. That's good. Ryan Jeffries with 5 straight for Logan. They take a 1-point lead. Vines kicks it. Jackson Pollock's wide open for 3. That's short. Croft tips it around. Pollock saves it. Layup, though, is short.
Good action from Pollock, but just missed on the execution a couple times.
Good ball movement. Simmons skips it. Jeffries is open in the corner. 3-pointer up and down. Ryan Jeffries, 8 straight for Logan now.
And we talked a little bit about their group from last year, gents, and they lacked a little punch off the bench. And I think Jeffries certainly adds that to them this year, so they're not relying on the likes of Carroll as literally their only bench contributor.
And no Brian Coleman for Logan here also. That's a big out for Thunder. Young gets a deep catch, goes to the left hand, misses. Pang, big rebound.
Really well defended from Cross too. Just played straight, used his length, but he needs to get better quality looks than that jump shot we saw a second ago. Ryan Vines continues to get deep into the paint, putting pressure on the Logan defense.
He's been terrific, Vines. It's the Jeffries coming out party.
Hey, Jeffries.
10 early points.
10 of Logan's 13. Vines, nice pass for Croft. He just missed that one.
I think Youngie did a good job of just getting a little deflection on it and just lodged the ball.
Pace is really incredible here.
I can see a timeout any second now, but
Young, nice hook shot, pushes the Logan lead to 5. Hang will fire a 3 off the back of the rim. Simmons with the head of steam.
Good
barrels
defense.
right into Bairstow. Good read there by Jared Bairstow. Got to give a shout out to Jared Croft's family watching at 5 a.m. from Tennessee. Sandra, thanks for tuning in live. We know we can always count on you to tune into a Pirates game. That's for sure.
I think he had his some family out too. Was his mother in town?
His mum was here for a couple of weeks and saw a couple of games live and came over and introduced herself probably about 3 weeks ago now at the home game. And it couldn't be lovelier. So it makes sense exactly where it's come from in terms of Jared.
He's a good dude. He comes down, helps out the kids on the floor too.
It's really nice to see when the guys come out and give back to the association as well. Really nice crowd here for Southwest as well for the Charity Shield event. Both teams going to the bench. Max Curl on the floor for the first time tonight. And Gideon Machando out there along with Sean Carroll for the first time for Logan. Also got Zach Young on the floor. Not sure what the referees are chatting about here.
I think there's a little bit of a conversation around points because I know originally we thought that Ryan Jeffrey's shot over the other side was a 3-pointer, but that has changed and gone down to a 2-point. And then I've also got a feeling it could be to do with an incorrect jersey number on the score sheet.
All right.
So a couple of things going on by the sounds of it.
Oh, let's see. I don't have. There is no Zach. There is no Zach Young on the box score here for Logan. So not really sure what they're going to do here. So
well, I mean,
what
realistically,
happens in this situation? Because
if the coach checks the score sheet or the assistant coach checks the score sheet at the start of the game, so they should have picked up on the fact that his name wasn't on the score sheet. So if his name's not on the score sheet, he can't play.
I've never seen that, Johnny. But Youngie, I'm guessing, can't play.
No, well, they sent him back to the bench. And I thought it was quite odd because when they were announcing the players in the opener, they didn't announce Zach Young as Curl gets a tough bucket to drop. But there was obviously some kind of miscommunication because there was no Zach Young on the score sheet and no player announcement either.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit of an oversight, and this is exactly why the referees give the score sheet out at the start of the game, is to check things like this. So it's a sucky situation, but at the end of the day, it's the Logan coaching staff's fault.
Can I get a question, right? The fact that he's hit the floor,
Machando finishes.
Is that like a disqualification?
A foul or something? I don't know.
Regan?
Yeah,
he did come out on the court.
I mean, technically speaking, it is justifiable. Well, again, it's been a while since I've had these situations, and I'm not 100%, but an illegal player has entered the game, which I believe is a technical foul.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong. It's been a while, and if any referee friends are watching, please correct me and send me a text message. But an illegal player hit the playing floor, which is a technical foul.
Well, we'll maybe see if we could grab one of the referees at the break and ask that question for you.
Well, Maddie was in it, so we'll see if we can steal her at halftime, maybe. She was in the conversation.
17-12, Logan up 5. Bairstow's hook shot's off. Cedar recovers for Logan. Kicks ahead, Carroll's open, steps into a 3. That's good for Sean Carroll. Don't give that guy an inch on the three-point line, he'll bury it. Croft goes to the right-handed hook shot, it's off. Machando with the rebound.
I know he missed, but I think that's a great look for the Pirates.
Yep.
You take Croft in the post all day, especially if Mitch Young now has to play extended minutes due to that scoring issue that we just spoke about.
Machando got called for the hook on the drive along the baseline.
Yeah, they like to shoot a lot of threes, this group. Cedar's 9th in the league with 41 made threes at 33%.
Isaiah Edwards getting that.
And Carroll's 25th, so two guys in the top 25 of three-point. And as a group, they shoot a good clip.
Bairstow bullies his way to the basket. Get in the gym. Defensive foul called on Max Curl on the block. Carroll had that huge game earlier in the season. I think he went 8 of 9 from 3
or something. 8 threes, yeah.
He's been doing that for a while, Sean Carroll. Good hands by Bairstow coming up with the steal. Here comes Curl. Blocked by Machando, and it goes out of bounds.
Wow.
Off of Curl, I think.
There was a whole lot of contact.
Oh, man. How that's not a foul, I don't know.
Vines and Pollock check back in. Edwards and Pang get a breather.
To be fair, I'd have to have a look at it again, but I'd probably agree with it, to be honest.
Wow.
To me, Machando got in front, had good position, and yeah, I think he had pretty good spot.
I think he was in the dominant position on that block. Alley-oop pass is tipped out of bounds. Oh, no, sorry, Fraser Roberts recovers. Carroll has it with 6 on the shot clock. Double team. Pass nearly stolen it is. Here comes Croft. Kicks ahead Curl out to Vines. Back to Curl in the corner. He'll put the 3 up.
Good aggressive offense. Retreat dribble to the 3-point line. I like the pace the Pirates are playing at. I think they're looking really good, and I think this will suit them the longer the game goes.
I think this has to be an NBN first. We've got to give a shout out to Mark, watching from a P&O cruise to southwest of Cape York. I don't think we've ever had a cruise ship check-in before.
Can we fact check that?
Cape York.
We need a selfie from Mark.
Photo evidence, Mark.
Mark, we want photo
Thank you,
evidence. Also got to give a shout out to our guy, Drew Summerfield, checking in on the YouTube channel. Big strong layup there for Logan. Push their lead out to 8, a minute 40 to go in the first quarter. Simon Taylor on the court for Logan. Garden Bairstow. Double team. Machando comes up with the steal.
Is he watching us from the Palace at Churchy, mate, or at home, do you think? Drew, let us know.
Young left hand, too strong. It's tipped out. Vines swings it. Here comes Curl, driving baseline, puts it up, and finger rolls it in. I was looking for the hammer. I think Curl was looking for it too, adjusted right at the end.
And this is what I like about Curl. You know, he's adding a little bit more to his game. So obviously, a couple of years ago, it used to just be load up three, whereas now he's getting a little bit in between action, working on his defense.
I was about to say, very active defensively so far tonight as well.
And you know, he's been getting some good minutes this year, and overall played really well.
And he's gotten better throughout the course of the season
I
as
think
well,
so too.
For sure. Certainly earned his minutes. Croft going to get a breather. Checking in is Jean-Luc Morel, one of the better names in the QBL. 6-point Logan lead, 45 seconds to go in the first. Carroll step back jumper is good.
That was a nice move, Sean Carroll. Just a smart, experienced player.
He's only been doing that 25 years, you know what I mean? Since
I played against Sean Carroll in the Seaball 13 years ago.
Vines comes up with the steal. Curl on the wing. Bullies his way to the basket. It's short. He's going to get called for an offensive foul. Good position there by Machando.
Yeah. That's what he brings to the table. Good energy, great defense. Taking it for the team. Robertson and Machando, both ex-Southwest players from last season.
Here comes Bairstow with the clock ticking down. Dumps it off. Morel puts it down. With one hand, the big fella beats the buzzer.
That's how you finish a quarter at home.
Great push there by Bairstow. And heading into the quarter time break, it's a 6-point deficit for Southwest. Really nice finish to the quarter for the Pirates boys.
Yeah, it is good, and I think the takeaway has been pretty up and down offensively. Some really good stuff, some scrappy stuff, but overall pretty good action here at the Pirate Ship, and Logan got a good lead.
6-point lead for Logan, 24-18 at the break. We're going to take a quick one. We'll come back with some statistics and the second quarter of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, brought to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here for the second quarter of action. Few more shout-outs. Got to give a shout-out to Adam Kopitke, Simo the Microwave. Also give a shout-out to your boy, Dave.
Yeah, Lucian's on the mic. No doubt he's there listening in with Kopitke. Probably a bourbon or 7.
7 deep at least.
Enjoying the game.
It's 8:30.
What's up, boys?
And,
loyal listeners. Lot of love.
Mark on the P&O cruise ship says he can't give us pics. I mean,
come
you
on,
can
Mark.
upload it to the Facebook group. Come on, Mark. We got to see it to believe it. Curl getting into it with Simon Taylor, forces the jump ball. That's a turnover for Logan. Good hustle there from Max Curl.
And I know that's the bit that, as we talked about, Curly in his game, he's got to add that defensive component at this level. And I know that's what Coach Larkins has really been challenging him on this year. He's done a really good job, I think, of continuing to learn defensively and be better accountable.
Bairstow rips right and finishes left.
Team.
Woo! What a move there by Bairstow on the baseline. You got to respect that, though, from Coach Larkins, too. You're earning your minutes on the defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's just how Larkins is going to be.
Hang. Left open, he'll fire the 3. It's off. Long gets his own rebound. Goes inside for Morrell. Out to Vines now with 10 on the shot clock. Dumps it off for Morrell. Nice
good
finish.
hands from the big man too. Good catch and good finish.
Good energy from the Pirates to start the second. 2-point game here.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago, Johnny, around Southwest game, and they points in the paint. They're second in the league in points in the paint, average 50. So a lot of their stuff's inside. Versus Logan does a good balance, if not leans towards the 3 a little to keep them in the game. So I think Pirates have got to continue being who they are, which is looking for those good opportunities around the rim as Besto shows his repertoire.
And the range for sure. It's a 2-point game here. Jeffries kicks it. Simon Taylor from the corner. It's off the back of the rim. Morrell gets the rebound, turns it over though.
That's where the young fellas just got to be calm.
Update from Kopicki and Luda. They're on the gins actually.
Okay. See, they're more mature now. I get that.
They've grown up a bit.
Yeah.
And Mark, if you're on a cruise ship, you better be drinking cocktails, otherwise it doesn't count. Want some pina colada action.
With or without the umbrella.
For all the kids at home, I'm drinking water.
Me too. I could go for a gin though right now. Or a bourbon. Hopefully the Pirates bar is listening to the game and sends a few our way. 2-point game, 7:50 left in the first half, 26-24.
So let's just talk a little bit in the break here with the playoff implications. Brisbane's sealed at 1. Marlins are sealed at 4. Townsville GC will finish 2-3, somewhere between each other. And the rest are all open.
USC should come 7th.
Yeah.
Because they should win tonight at Seahawks, you would think, although they're a bit depleted as well.
You would think. What do you mean they're depleted?
They're thin in the front court.
I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about I think their front court is a bit thin, but not because of me. I think they've got some other gaps.
Big Z injured. Tony Zaramba injured. Yeah.
Zaremba's injured. Yeah, that's right. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah. I think we all know what you're talking about, mate.
So they should come 7th, but the rest is still open as far as I know.
Vine skips it, pangs open. He'll fire a 3 off the side of the rim.
I feel like the Pirates are falling in love.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Foul's called against Tommy Amar.
I like it. The young fella's getting pumped. Tommy and him just got a little caught up under the basket. Tommy didn't like it.
Yeah, a lot of energy in this one. There's a lot on the line. It's a 2-point game. Finals position on the line between these two teams. Did we get an update on the possible tech foul though on Zach Young entering the court?
Yeah,
while he's not on the
playlist. I've been in discussions with. I'm still working on it. Come back to me in about 3 minutes' time, and I think I'll have an answer on that one.
We'll see if we can get an update on the potential technical foul. Game's tied at 26.
Good rotation from Pangy under the rim, but Jeffries again continues his great start. Offensive rebound and putback.
Plus the foul. Jeffries has been tremendous here, and he's been Logan's most consistent scorer.
Well, you've got to help the helper. Pangy rotated out to meet Young on the dive, and then that left the offensive rebound opportunity.
Well, we'll do our best to get an update on the potential technical foul situation as Jeffries completes the three-point play. Logan up 3 now, under 7 to go in the first half. Bairstow kicks it, curls open in the corner, 3 is up and down for Max Curl, tied up at 29. Simmons to Jeffries, he answers. Ryan Jeffries taking it back to the old school tonight.
We have the picture, boys. We've got the good old towel animal in the cruise ship.
All right, Mark. We're sorry we ever questioned your presence on a cruise ship in the North Cape. Jeffries again for 3. That's in and out. Curl grabs the defensive rebound. Got to give Mark a shout out to 240P. Thanks, P&O.
That's a foul.
Croft finishes, plus the foul.
Timeout here to the Pirates.
Let's see if Coach Larkins keeps the timeout. Carroll's going to check in for Simmons. And Coach Larkins does keep the timeout, so we'll take one as well. 5:49 to go in the first half. It's a 1-point game with Croft at the free throw line. And Simmons picked up his 3rd personal. Take a quick one. We'll be back shortly. The conclusion of the second quarter here on Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at the Pirate ship. 5:50 to go in the first half. It's a 1-point game with Jarrett Croft at the free throw line. Opportunity to tie it up. Got to give a shout out to our boy William McDowell White tuning in live on the stream.
Where is Big Will?
Where is he?
Is he in Houston?
No, he's back here. I saw him last night over at Spartans.
I think has he got a
He'll be
like
there for training camp for
training
sure.
camp. Thanks, Johnny. That's
For
the word
sure.
I was after.
Cedar gets to the rim, lays it in. That's too easy there for Mick Cedar. Logan pushes the lead out to 3. Bairstow flips it up. He's fouled on his way to the basket, so he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
Can we not gloss over that last comment that Will McDowell White's going to training camp with the Houston Rockets? Like, we just mentioned it flippantly, probably because we all in Brisbane know who he is, and so we all expect it to happen. But man, what an amazing position to be in, and like I'm sure he's going to go really well, and whatever happens. But he's in a great position to turn into a household name, at least in Australia.
Oh,
we're all Daryl McDowell White. Where's
Daryl's
he?
back at college.
Back
at Masters.
Will's awesome, but I think I'm Daryl's biggest fan. Like, DJ's awesome, so I can't wait to see what he does at university this year.
Yeah, well, we're certainly all friends with William and Daryl, but also big fans of theirs as well. Big fans of this game as well. It's a huge one with the finals on the line as Cedar drains a 3 to push the Logan lead out to 4. Pang has it, guarded by Cedar. Now Croft goes to the left. He's stripped by Young. Comes up with the steal. Young dumps it off for Amar. Skips it out to Cedar on the wing. Three is up and down. Makes Cedar back-to-back threes. Push the lead out to 7 for Logan. Pang skips it. Jackson Pollock has it on the wing. Reverses to Vines. Vines in a bit of trouble. Here's Bearstone now with 5 on the shot clock. Short jumper is short. Young grabs the rebound.
They're just doing it tough here a little bit, the Pirates, in that half-court offense. Logan's doing a really good job of lifting the intensity, really getting up in lanes and being physical.
And to me, the difference in this run is the Logan defense. Really forcing the role players for Southwest to step up, and no one has just yet as Pollock fires a three that's well off. Croft, offensive rebound, blocked by Cedar. Then Croft can't save it. Here comes Logan. Carroll in and out dribble, hands off for Cedar, fires a deep three. In and out, Jeffries blocked. It's a goaltend though. And Logan really putting the foot down here with 3:45 to go in the quarter. (44-33) the lead for Logan. 3:45 to go in the first half. Bairstow on the baseline, finds Croft. Goes to the right-hand hook shot, and that's a nice soft touch from the big fella.
Yeah, well, their zone is interesting, but there's still plenty of gaps in this if the Pirates can look to execute with, again, it's particularly around those high post flashes where Croft's tried to get the ball, but the rest of the guards seem to just be hanging out on the perimeter. Good double from Bear.
Nice look inside, Young to Cedar. Push the lead out to 11. Got to give a shout out to my guy, Adrian Day, on the tune-in on the Facebook page. Thanks for tuning in, Adrian.
Is he at the Churchy Palace? I mean,
we didn't get the invite. I'm a little upset as Pollock hits a three.
Adrian, my guy, how are you, big fella? Maybe we're on the 5-meter screen at Churchy, Johnny.
Not sure as Cedar heats up, left-handed hook shot, no good. Croft grabs the rebound, approaching 2.5 to go in the first half. 8-point lead for Logan. Curl baseline jumper, no good, but he's fouled on the way up by Ryan Jeffries. Isaiah Edwards gonna check in, but not before Coach Ken gets a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 2:23 to go. 8-point lead for Logan in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at the Pirate Ship Hibiscus Sports Complex. 2:20 to go. 8-point lead for Logan. And some pretty good action. I think the Logan defense has really picked up the pace. helping them push out this lead to 8.
They sure have, and I think that's been built off the back of some really good defense, which allows them to get out and do what you said, Johnny, and pick up the pace offensively. Their defensive end of the court's been really good the last 4 or 5 minutes. But in saying that, it's only a couple of possession games still, 6 points, so Southwest with plenty of reason to be excited about their chances here as well.
We'll have to check on the out-of-town score at halftime as well to see some potential finals implications. Good double team of Young. Great pass. Jeffries too strong. Fraser Roberts misses a couple goes. Gets the third one to drop.
And gents, we've got a standing offer from Will McDowell-White to come on and do some guest commentating next season, I think. So,
all right, we might take
we'll
you up on
that one.
I hope, you know what? I hope we don't get him because I hope he's in the NBA.
Well, I hope so too. But
Big Will,
can we teleconferencing him?
Maybe we could get Will on maybe next weekend, or we'll see. We'll see if he's around. But we might take you up on that, Winks, for sure.
I think BQ's rate just went up by 1,000%.
He might have just thrown his biggest shot fake of his career right there, though.
Carroll for 3 is good. 51-40 the lead for Logan.
Well, this is when the young guys, Isaiah Edwards, Curl and Pollock, you know, they got to come in and do the little things. That couple of missed box outs in the last couple of possessions as well.
Here is Edwards working against Carroll, goes to the left.
Very stagnant offense. I don't like that at all. Too much standing around. One-on-one ISO ball is not going to get it done. Ryan Vines continues to fume. He's a competitor and wants to get back out there.
I'm not sure why Croft came out either. I mean, he can have a break in 1 minute and 1 second.
Young finishes plus the foul. He likes the matchup with Bairstow.
He's not in foul trouble.
Well, that would be the only reason, I guess. You don't want him to get a quick, cheap foul before the half, but I agree. I never understood substituting right before a half to give someone a break when he's got 10 to 15 minutes. And Ryan Vines comes back in for the last couple of possessions.
13-point lead here for Logan. Mitch Young at the free throw line, looking to push it to 14. Free throw is good.
It was a 6-point lead. Feels like 5 seconds ago. They've really pushed it out quickly.
Yeah.
I haven't actually congratulated Mitch Young on taking over the GM spot at Logan basketball, retiring from the NBL and moving into management as Vines fires a 3. It's short. Pang follows, no good. Young grabs the rebound. Has there been a GM and a player in the QBL in the past, Dave?
No.
Not
that we can think
I
of?
don't think.
No.
That'd be interesting.
I'd love to see his contract negotiation for next season. Who's going to run that meeting?
I wouldn't have thought so. Johnny, Jason Blanchard, our good friend, said Phoenix lost tonight.
Final.
So
Roberts misses the 3. That's a good result for these two teams.
Yeah.
Do they know clock?
Bairstow hands off. Curl fires a 3. It's good for Max Curl. That's a big bucket before the break. Cutting the deficit to 11, and I think Logan may have just fallen asleep a little bit there.
Well, they really do need that Curl 3 just to give them a sniff of energy leading into the sheds. Because, to be honest, body language-wise and offensively, they just looked shot. So, you know, that was a really big 3 from Curl.
On the back of a big 3, down 11's a lot different to down 14, not feeling too good about yourself.
Yeah.
But you got to give it to Logan. They turned it around defensively, I think, to push out that lead. Pirates, though, should be pretty happy with where they're at, considering they're relying heavily on the bench unit.
Well, they are, and they're for me, they're just kind of hanging in, I think, is the key. Offensively, they've been a little shaky, just execution-wise, throwing the ball away a little bit. And Thunder shooting at 57%. You know, they've just been pretty clinical. They've made good shots. They've made good reads. Jeffries, obviously, they rode the hot hand. So Thunder have done a really good job here in this first half.
And if you are Thunder, your big-name players, I guess Young has been fairly quiet in the first half. Cedar heated up a little bit for the second, but you got to expect that explosion from the big guys from Logan in the second half.
Well, sorry, Johnny. Simmons, Young, and Amar have 9 points. So absolutely, they're missing those guys. Cedar's got 12 and Jeffries has got 17, and they're the reason why the Thunder are sitting where they are.
Yeah, and Sean Carroll out off the bench as well.
Yeah.
And Mitch Young had a couple of good buckets to finish the half, maybe in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But we seem to see every time we commentate Logan Thunder games is, why don't they run more plays for Mitch Young? He just finds his own offense, so maybe in the second half they can go into him a bit more often.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll take a look at some halftime statistics. We are going to take a break. Guys, don't go anywhere, though. This one is shaping up to be another beauty. It's an 11-point lead for Logan, 54-43 at the half. We'll take a break. We'll come back shortly with some statistics and the second half of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, brought to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's halftime, 54-43 the lead for Logan. Looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, looks like the University of Sunshine Coast Rip have secured a final. They won 91-75 over North Gold Coast. A couple other finals as well. Brisbane Capitals, I think they eliminate the Phoenix with a win 88-74 over Sunshine Coast Phoenix. So, again, it's exactly what Southwest and Logan wanted. They wanted the Phoenix to lose, which they have. Whoever wins this one, though, will then take a final spot. Gold Coast is up on Gladstone, 66-52. And the other one is Rockhampton and Townsville at the, looking at live stats, it's 48-42. Rockhampton over on Townsville. So if Rocky wins that, Gold Coast moves up to second spot on the ladder and gets a little more favorable final spot, you'd think.
I'm going to skip that for 1 second and shout out Damien Cesarago and his family. He is a basketball encyclopedia and he's watching tonight, so hope he's enjoying the game. But you're right, those scores are great. Rip City, good to see them getting a win, which they should have. And we'll just wait and see how this one plays out so we know where the games are next week.
Jeffries from the free throw line keeps the heat
He's
going
been feeling
into the
good all
second.
night, huh?
Great little set to start the third quarter. They were looking for Jeffers coming off that weak side action the whole time. They really ran that play well.
Pang has it. Croft going right at the defense, kicks it out. Pollock will fire a wing three. Oh, that's short. Long rebound, Croft recovers. If Rockhampton beats Townsville, the Gold Coast men will finish second and host the University of Sunshine Coast Rip.
That would be a good game. The Rip went down to the Gold Coast a few weeks ago and got a win down there with 6 players, so that'd be a good one to watch. Or play.
The question was asked,
Sean
gents, where
Carroll.
is the Goldie game? Is it in Gladstone this week?
In Gladstone, yes. Vines has it stripped by Cedar. Nice fake. Young gets inside. He's fouled. And he's going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Foul called on Jackson Pollock.
Cedar with all the trick moves. I think a couple of Pirates fell for it.
I fell for it. I was following that pass fake for sure.
Cedar's had a solid season. 14-5-4, shooting the ball 35%. Been really good for them.
Really good start to the half from Logan here. They push the lead out to 15. They come out with that same energy they had in that second quarter. It's going to be interesting to see if Pirates can respond and how they respond. Croft, turnaround jump shot, in and out. Amar with the rebound.
They are giving Croft no room to work. I mean, Logan and Southwest equally. It's very crowded for him down there. I'd love to see him have some space so he can get his moves off a bit easier.
Yeah, and equally, I want to see him bang a little bit more instead of just falling in love with the fadeaway. I think
he's shooting a fadeaway because there's 3 people in the paint, 2 of which are Southwest Metro teammates. So he can't get to the hoop because there's no room to move. They need to get him some looks on the block with space to operate. The Southwest offense is looking really ugly to start this half. A lot of ISO ball, not very fluid, whereas Logan at the other end are looking much, much better with Mitch Young going to work down low, and we're going to need a quick timeout here in a minute if we're Southwest.
If I'm Southwest, we just got to junk it up. You got to make it look ugly, I think.
I'd be getting up the floor, putting on 3-quarter pressure, back to a zone, back to a man. You just got to mix it up and try and get Logan out of a rhythm because they're looking real comfortable right now. And Croft's basically on the 3-point line trying to put on moves on 3 defenders. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, but and equally the Pirates aren't helping them because everyone's just sitting
That's
on the
what I mean.
3-point. Yeah.
Which is why there's 3 defenders guarding him. He can't operate because his teammates are standing and watching.
Amar, big 3. And there's the timeout you were talking about. Coach Larkins has to take it. 7:16 to go in the third. It's a 20-point lead for Logan. Let's keep it here, though, gents, because Logan has absolutely come out steaming here to start the second half.
Well, it just looks like it looks like number 1 playing number 15 in this first few minutes. That's the reality. They just look like they're the team that's hungry, looking to get into the playoffs, and Pirates are just hanging around at the moment. I just don't really like the body language. I don't like the communication from the Pirates. Just that grit and grind of, do you want to play next week? I'm not seeing that in this first few minutes.
And we said that before the game, that looking at the rosters, that's probably how it was going to go. Slightly more talented team on paper versus a team that's going to have to come out and play hard and junk it up to try and get a win. But I agree, Dave, we're not seeing that. And on defense, we're seeing a lot of standing around. On offense, we're seeing even more standing around, and it's making it hard for anyone to make moves. And I feel for Croft, who's worked pretty hard tonight. He's catching the ball pretty much on the three-point line, looking at 4 defenders and 4 teammates who are just standing and watching. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
Then to try and run some side pick and rolls, put a 3/4 court press on, just something to bring some energy back into the group.
And I think Pirates also, though, defensively need to do a better job in transition because they're giving Logan everything they want.
But that comes from bad shots, too. Bad shots leads to bad transition defense.
And with respect, no one here is guarding Bairstow, right? Because if Young's guarding Croft, then that's where we need to go to work.
Well, they've got Cedar, and Cedar's very smart and very experienced, but Bairstow should be able to get elbow touches, post touches, and fancy his chances with that matchup.
Cedar, great deflection again.
Young spinning baseline. Goes for the right-handed hook shot. It's good. This could get ugly. Boys, it's a 22-point lead now, but it just seems like Southwest has no response for what Logan's doing. Young comes up with a big block. Cedar, another huge one. Another one from Young. That's 3 blocks in a row for Logan. Vines driving, looking for Croft. It's not there. Vines
what a
has to
possession
fire.
for Logan defensively. You think they're fired up after that?
Cedar from deep. It's off the front of the rim. Hart's going to have to slow things down a bit just to reset. Croft inside for Max Curl. Good finish there from Curl. Nice look from the big fella.
And that's just as simple as it needs to be, right? I mean, it was just a little on ball that was doing nothing, but again, reverse the ball, good cut, Max Curl, layup.
Machando checks in for Logan. Carroll gets a breather. Miscommunication between Cedar and Young. It's a turnover. .540 to go in the third quarter. 20-point deficit for Pirates. Curl fires from the wing. That's good for Max Curl. It's a 2, not a 3.
That was a tough shot, too. We had an angle right on. That was well defended.
Yeah.
That was just a really good offensive move.
Jeffries steps back and drains it.
You could say the same about that one. Ryan Jeffries has come out cooking tonight. Puts him to 21, I think, on the game.
He's letting Curl know about it, too. Pollock's in a bit of trouble. Picks up his dribble, hands off for Croft.
Look at the spacing that Croft is looking at when he's in the post.
Vines from the wing. That's off.
Oh.
Fighting for the rebound. It's tipped out of bounds off of Southwest.
Well, Croft's really working hard, and unfortunately, he needs a little more help.
And I think the help comes in form of some structure. Like, he needs to get it on the block with room to move, not 3 or 4 steps out with a crowded floor. But credit Logan's defense, I guess, as well.
Dakota Daniels in for Southwest. He's guarding Machando. Jeffries feeling it, fires a deep one. That's off the front of the rim. Bairstow with the long rebound, puts a head of steam on, goes right at the defense.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's Young on the other end, puts it down with one hand. 22-point lead for Logan. Vines fouled by Amar, driving to the basket. Dakota Daniels checks in and checks out for Christian Pang. Vines at the free throw line for a couple shots.
I think we've got the potential for a lot of guest commentators next season. We've got Adam Kapitke and Luda, one to come in and sit in on the call as well.
How many?
Dial them in the fourth quarter.
Is that with or without the gin?
And get the censor button ready.
What's wrong with a little gin between commentators?
Just checking. Yeah, with or without?
Only if they share.
Yeah, well, they gotta shout first. As Young
we tried to punch on him.
Do it. Jeffries cleans up the mess.
23 for Jeffers.
He's been awesome. This is a vintage Jeffries performance. Haven't seen one of these for a while.
Sure is. Good time of the year.
Pang fires the open three. It's off the back of the rim.
Pangy's three or four jumpers have all looked good.
Taylor turns it over. Curl has it now. With a head of steam, throws up a wild one. He's fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for a couple. Like the aggressive take there from Curl. Felt the contact. No hesitation. Foul called on Jeffries, his second.
I like Curl's energy defensively, and on that possession especially, I think we teach everyone only pass it when the defense stops you, and no one stopped him, and he made the right decision.
Hits the free throw.
Got to give a quick shout out to our man Matt Wellesby from Southwest as well, still tuning in every single week over from the States.
The Big D. Texas, is that where he is? Dallas, right?
Yeah.
Matty, send us some barbecue, brother. I'm starving. Young, little floater short. Croft grabs the board. Kicks ahead for Vines. Vines hands off for Bairstow, inside for Croft.
Well, Croft, you got to shoot that, big fella.
It's a turnover. Jeffries gets around the defense. They're going to get Pang on the block.
Yeah, that's the call.
Pushing foul.
Settle down, Pirate fans. It was a foul.
I think when you're down 20, every call becomes questionable.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the fans.
Timeout taken on the floor. We're going to take one as well. 20-point lead here for Logan over Southwest with 3 minutes to go in the third. Your QBL Game of the Week brought to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. Logan ball along the baseline. Machando set to inbound. Goes in out to Simon Taylor. Now Roberts to Machando. Gets some feet in the paint, leaves his feet. Now Young fires a long two. That's off the side of the rim. Good rebound there for Bairstow. Vines inside for Croft. Catches it on the block, goes to the left hand. It's strong.
I like that, though. I want to see him Croft more of that. I think he's got to take it straight at Young and make Young foul him.
Well, that's the first possession he's had where he's had ISO coverage with room to move.
Yeah.
Young has it on the baseline, out to Machando. Good pump fake.
Logan's ball movement is looking really good. And
Jeffries.
Feeling good tonight.
Well, and again,
He might hit 40.
I think the Pirates were in their zone there, and what the learning is, if they watch the tape, they're over-committing and over-rotating, and that was how they missed the Jeffries on the wing then.
Croft from the baseline, jumpers off the side of the rim. Under 2 to go, 23-point lead for Logan.
And Young's been terrific tonight too.
He has been very good.
He's been excellent.
Yeah, he's been great.
Young fouled by Curl, so he's going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots.
Just on both ends, he's just been really good. I mean, no Poimo, no Larkins. It was always going to be tough. Let's just be real here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Pirates need their guys who probably haven't seen the court too much throughout the course of the season, really need to step up. It looked good in that first quarter, but Logan, I think, made the adjustments into the second, and it's carried over into the second half.
And speaking of Poino, big shout out to the big man as well, tuning into the live stream as well. Let us know where you're watching from. Are you still in Australia? Have you already headed off overseas?
Pirates sure could use Poino tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, congrats on the gig too. Well done.
Cedar fading away, banks it home. McCedar loves a good 1-foot fadeaway. Nice pass, and Croft fouled on his way for the Yam. It's going to go against Mitch Young, sending Croft to the free throw line for 2 shots.
And the other thing too, we didn't talk about during the pre-game, but again for the Pirates, it was always going to be hard because they have the one of the worst benches in the league, 13th in bench production, only 13 points a game. So if those guys can't step up in a situation like that, you know, it was always going to be really challenging.
79-54, minute 7 left. Croft hits the second as well. Carroll back out there running the show. Lamar goes inside for Robic. Skips it to Carroll. Now Machando dumps it off. Pass is nearly stolen. It is stolen. Good hustle there by Carroll. He's got it for Pirates.
Yeah, a better set for the Pirates.
Vines goes right to the rack to lay it in.
Great little crossover to get his feet in the paint.
Captain.
They're a minus 15 in this third quarter, Johnny.
You believe in the championship third, Dan?
Not by the same definition as everyone else, but I think this particular quarter shows the class of Logan starting to shine out, and they've moved the ball really well and defended pretty well. And I think, to Dave's point, the depth of Southwest has been unmasked a little bit in terms of they're starting to really struggle.
Great finish to beat the buzzer by Carroll. Good recognition by Cedar as well, and that tells the story of the third quarter. It was all Logan. They're going to head into the break up by 24 points. It's been a huge third quarter for Logan. Gents, is it over? Dave, Dan, anyone ready to make that call?
No, there's still a chance.
Dave.
There's not a chance.
Tell the truth, bro. It's been over for a while.
Okay, it's certainly done.
Well, they got 50. Well, they just put up 14 points in the quarter.
They're in trouble. Let's just say they're in a little bit of trouble.
They're in deep trouble. They're down 24. Let's see if Southwest could come back. Don't tune out. Keep your eyes peeled to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with the final quarter of action here in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex, heading into the final quarter of action. Pirates have dug themselves quite the hole. They're down 24 points. Let's see. I think we'll be able to tell early in this quarter if Pirates have a chance.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they'll probably have 3 to 4 minutes, and then if it's a similar scoreline, you'll see the youngsters get a bit of burn, and that's the season. If we're just going to be honest, like you asked me to, Thunder.
Well, even if it's over right now, I want to see how they come out. If this is the last quarter of the season for you, you better come out playing hard, good quality basketball and reward these fans who've come out to support you.
Carroll gets his feet inside the paint, swings it to Machando in the corner. 3 is up and down for Machando. Lets his former Pirates teammates know about it too.
You know, I'm a big fan in attitude determines altitude, and I think this second half, the Logan attitude was terrific. And they've come out and they've executed, and
sure was.
And they've just wanted it more, and they've been hungrier. And I know the Pirates are a little undercooked with the quality, but equally, I just think Logan's had a really good second half in particular.
Bairstow might have been blocked there by Cedar.
I think it was, but shooting a jump shot to me feels like letting Cedar off the hook, given the size difference. Got to go at him hard.
Carroll's 3 is off. Here comes Vines for Southwest. Gets in the paint, kicks it to Curl, wide open for 3.
That's nice
good
offense
for Max Curl.
That's from Ryan Vines, a great job. Feet in the paint, penetration, find a shooter. That's a good look.
Just been sent the official women's quarterfinal draw. So on Saturday, the 10th of August, you've got Gold Coast hosting Logan. Southern District's Lady Spartans hosting the University of Sunshine Coast Rip. Townsville Flames hosting Mackay Meteorettes. The Rockhampton Cyclones hosting the Ipswich Force. I mean, it's finals time. Every game is good, but gee, those are some juicy matchups, boys.
They sure are, Johnny. What do you think? Where do you think we'll be next week, man?
We'll talk to the gentlemen at Basketball Queensland and see.
Could be a grab your towel and surfboard.
We'll see. Maybe down to the Gold Coast. Have a few options. We'll see.
So that was the 10-3 for Logan. And they're right on par with what they are, and averaging 10.9 a game, 3rd in the league, shooting the 3, made 3. So again, Logan just sticking to what they are, which has been a really good performance. Simmons, not a whole lot of burn tonight.
I think he was in a bit of foul trouble. Rayshawn Simmons back on the court for Logan. Vines misses the free throw.
I think Rocky's up a little bit against Townsville, so it looks like Gold Coast will finish second. If that works out as it is.
Cedar inside, lays it in. Lead is now 30 for Logan.
And you can just feel the energy sucked out of the building. It got very quiet very quickly after the last couple of possessions. But when these Pirates boys, the 7 minutes will go quickly. They just need to keep working, keep fighting. I think all QBL players put in a lot of time, not just during the season, but in off seasons, getting ready for the season in the gym, on the court, getting shots up. They and most of them for no financial reward at all, so they owe it to themselves to finish off the year really strongly, especially at home. So hopefully the next 7 minutes gets a bit more competitive and they can turn a 30-point gap into a 15 or 18-point loss and have a good end to their season here.
Bairstow hits them both. Simmons skips it. Cedar fires the 3 off the side of the rim. No basket. That's going to be a push in the back. for Fraser Roberts. Trying to battle inside with big Jared Croft. Croft from the free throw line, in and out. Tipped around, Rayshawn Simmons has it.
And even the simple punch screen like that was, that's one of the better looks Jared's had all night, right?
Sure is.
So, they've just got to continue to try and help him out and get him some good looks. And just as equally, Bairstow.
Good look inside. Bairstow lays it in with the left hand. Simmons gets it back out to Carroll. With 8 on the shot clock. Amar in the corner. He'll fire the 3, and he drains it. And Coach Wayne Larkins takes a timeout. We're going to take one as well. 6:20 to go in the game. It's a 94-65 Logan lead over Southwest here on your QBL Game of the Week, brought to you by Nothing But Net Media. Back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. I think we may have solved the mystery of the Zach Young appearing on the box score, but getting on the court. I'm going to hand over to Regan Baker to give us the breakdown.
Curley's been playing well. Go ahead, Regan.
So yeah, it's taken a little bit of unpacking in order to work out what exactly has gone on, but in discussing with multiple different referees, and a big shout out to Matty Brazier, ex-QBL referee and partner of Jared Bairstow on the floor. Yep. She's kind of helped me out in unpacking what exactly happened. So the story goes is there was an issue with the score sheet where Zach Young's name was not on the score sheet whatsoever. So in talking with the coaching staff on the score bench, what appears that has happened is Logan believes that they sent a roster to Southwest, which did include Zach Young on that roster. However, the list that was given to the score bench did not feature Zach Young. So they've just copied what they were given, which was the score sheet without Zach on there. Now, at the start of the game, it is the score bench's duty to give that score sheet to both teams to check the score sheet, make sure that everyone's on there, make sure that the names and numbers are correct. And unfortunately, there was an oversight, and the coaching staff of Logan did not recognize that Zach Young's number was not on the score sheet. So in terms of the situation where Zach has then entered the playing field, there is a lot of debate as to whether it is a technical foul or not. Now, the best that we can unpack that situation is, by definition, we do believe that a player has illegally entered the playing field, which the penalty therefore trails being a technical foul. However, in this situation, the referees probably did the right thing in not issuing one. There was already probably enough salt in the wound for Logan in that, a player that they really wanted to take the floor was not able to play. So there was enough salt there. It didn't need to therefore have that technical foul. And at the end of the day, it is at the discretion of the referees. So dictionary definition, and I am definitely open to being corrected on this one, is it is a technical foul for illegally entering the floor, but it's at the referee's discretion. And they've gone with, look, it's a bad situation. The score bench let him onto the floor without recognizing. The coaching staff missed it. The referees missed it. So let's just play through.
Thank you for that breakdown, Regan, and thank you for your investigation into the controversy as well.
And I'm glad it hasn't had too much of an impact on the result tonight. If this was a 1 or 2 possession game, it's different.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah. Good work, Regan.
29-point lead for Logan, approaching the 5-minute mark of this game.
I think more than anything from Logan's perspective as well, it was more so the fact that I tried to sort of listen to the conversation. It's probably one of the last times that either, that he's going to be able to play in the QBL as well. So by the sounds of it, I don't know whether Zach is going to be playing again or what the situation may be, or
Why wouldn't he?
I'm not too sure. I missed part of the conversation, but it was mostly an emotional connection to having him play this game, and it is unfortunate that that was missed.
Hope everything's positive. It's a positive reason that he's not playing if he's not.
Well, call me stupid. Is he Mitch Young's brother?
Yes.
Well, then maybe it was that it is potentially the last time that the two brothers could play together if Mitch isn't going to be able to play QBL next year, being that he's the GM.
I'm not sure. I think that's all. We're only speculating, so we don't know the full story on that one. I know they've played a few games together this season, and they have had a couple games together in the past as well, so we don't know that one yet. We might have to check with Mitch and Zach at some point. Amar's open for 3. He fires and misses. Croft, big rebound.
Good job from Amar to break it up. I'm sort of a little surprised that the teams haven't been emptied. Certainly from Logan, considering I got a finals game I got to start thinking about.
I think it's 1 or 2 possessions away from that, Dave.
Vines hits a 3.
Well, you'd be pretty dirty if one of these 5 got injured in the next minute.
Yeah, and I guess they could, the other hand, they could get injured any second of practice during the week, and you want them going in rhythm, feeling confident.
Well,
the best way to get that is on the floor and finishing off the game strongly.
Simmons' step back jumper is good. And I think you want to build that confidence. They had a tough loss last week. Has been a bit of an up and down season. I think you want to keep that confidence level rising heading into finals. Zach, the story from Basketball Queensland COO Josh Pascoe. Zach played for Logan in Southwest as a junior, and Zach is moving to the United States next year, so he won't be able to play with his brother, obviously being over in the U.S. So it's an unfortunate instance here for Zach and Mitch and for the Logan Thunder club. So it's a bit of an oversight. Would have loved to have played both with his brother and against Southwest in his final game for the QBL, but unfortunately things didn't work out that way. So unfortunate situation. You always want to be able to send those guys out in the right way, but unfortunately it's just not going to happen.
Did I miss something? Well, he'll be suiting up next week for the rest of the finals, though, right? I would hope so. So hopefully they've got 3 or 4 games left together.
Southwest has gone to the bench. Dakota Daniels fires a 3. That's good.
Smooth-looking Jimmy.
Bairstow steals it, puts up the layup. It's no good. Amar with the rebound.
Like, is that a foul on Tommy though? Surely that's not straight up defense.
It was also contact on the side as well.
Right,
going back to your juniors, feet first facing. He was side on when the contact occurred with JB.
Daniels throws it up. Morrell misses.
I think it was a semi-attempted lob.
That was an alley-oop gone wrong.
Big 3 there for Logan. They're up 28. 2:30 to go. Vines fires a long 2. Simon Taylor fires a 3. That's in and out. If you hear the noise, it's for Ben Lealofi getting set to check in. Bairstow gets to the rim. He misses, but he's fouled, so he'll go to the line for a couple shots. Few subs. Ben Lealofi checks in. Mitch Young going to check out. Jacob Stadhams checks in. Vines going to get a breather. I think that'll be it for Ryan Vines in 2019. Isaiah Edwards has checked in for Vines. And Dave, game's over by now, but I think Pirates would be disappointed in the result, but I think this was a developmental year really for the Pirates. Given a lot of these guys on the bench some of their first regular QBL minutes and looking to build a foundation for years to come.
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little column B, I think, Johnny, because, you know, if you had a healthy Larkins and a healthy Pomo, like, if they gel on the night, they're as good as anyone in the league, in my opinion, from a talent point of view, right? As far as that starting five in particular, and throw in Max Curl as your sixth man, I mean, that's a good six. And again, you forget we were here. I know we didn't call the game, but they were up 12 with Brisbane and blew it, right? They were beating the Capitals well, and choked and blew it. And they did that a few times against some teams this year. So, you know, I think they were around the mark. They just weren't consistent. And Larkins and Pomo being out the last couple of weeks, and then equally Sean Bairstow went to college, right? So, you know, I think that's kind of is what it is sometimes. And Croft was good. I like him as an import, and I think Pomo did a good job in patches. I think, you know, if we're being frank, I think he could have worked a little harder, and I think his production could have been better. Because, you know, you just when an import comes in this league, realistically, he better give me 20 and 10 every night. If otherwise, why would I sign an import, if that makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. And
so, but I think certainly Henry's got to, you know, again, get used to the league and all that kind of thing. And yeah, but some good young talent for the Pirates. They're going to keep on working hard. Bairstow was terrific again this year. Vinesy was solid, I think, as well. I think he did a good job.
It'd be interesting to see if they could keep that kind of core together and see what they could develop. Morel, I think, has been quite interesting in minutes. I think Daniels and Christian Pang has been shown a big improvement as well. So.
Yeah, Isaiah Edwards too. He's got a little bit of some minutes this year.
And Dan, what do you think about Logan? Logan will get into the finals. Looks like I think they're going to be in the 8th spot, which means a matchup with the Brisbane Capitals. How do you think Logan matches up with the #1 seed Brisbane Capitals?
I think Logan as an 8 seed, if we went back 6 months, would surprise everybody. I don't think anyone would have picked them to miss the playoffs, and we probably would have put them top 5, 6 at least. So getting the 8 seed is probably one of the most dangerous 8 seeds that you could have thought of to come out of the QBL this year. So I think they'll go up the road to Brisbane after tonight, especially with plenty of confidence. I think they've got good guard play. I think they've got obviously really good bigs with Mitch Young, who's more than capable of winning a matchup with Magne and the Brisbane big. So I think they'll go up there, despite being an 8 seed, with every level of confidence, thinking they can pull off an upset. If it is an upset, in their mind it wouldn't be. But obviously, anytime an 8 beats a 1, it is. But I think they're going to match up really well, and that's going to be a great game. Especially
with the way they played here tonight as well. And, you know, the likes of Ryan Jeffries can get hot again like he did early in the first half in this game too. Like, this is potentially a very dangerous Logan team. And, you know, Capitals could be concerned depending on, you know, the depth of their roster as well and whether all the boys are returning and playing. Well, I think you expect your studs to do what they do. And oftentimes it's the role players that will come up and win or lose a game in the playoffs. So Mitch Young will be Mitch Young next week, obviously. Same with Cedar, same with Sean Carroll. You know what those guys are going to give you a bit of. Tommy Mark can hit down 3 or 4 threes. The other guys that you've seen tonight step up. If they do the same next week, they're capable of winning, no doubt.
11 seconds to go in this one.
We'll just go through some stats, Johnny, and we'll probably wind up pretty quick. But Cedar with 16. Tommy Amar, 10 points, 10 rebounds. Mitch Young, 19 and 10, 4 assists. Simmons didn't play a whole lot, but still had 8 assists. Ryan Jeffries, 29, which was pretty impressive, obviously. And Sean Carroll had 13 off the bench, and Machendo finished with 8 on the bench as well.
It was a really good performance from the Logan Thunder to seal a final spot. They made it hard work for themselves, but they really came out and dropped the hammer here on Southwest. Southwest had that excellent start, but it was pretty much all Logan from the second quarter on. And the talent and the depth of Logan really shone through in this game. And it was always going to be a challenge for Southwest. I think they should be proud in their effort. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough tonight. And Logan secures a finals position. Looks like they're going to be in that 8th spot and take on the Brisbane Capitals.
Yeah, and I think for the Caps, it'll be, realistically, anyone in the 8 can legitimately win. Now it's a really open competition, and all of the 8 teams that are in the playoffs are in a really good position. And, 1 versus 8, to Dan's point, that'll be a cracker at Auchenflower next week.
Yeah, we know the teams don't really like each other either. There's always a bit of a rivalry between Logan and Brisbane.
You throw in a little bit of Jeffrey's ex-Capitals in there too, and he just went for 29, so he'll be feeling pretty good about himself. So
potentially no Jason Kadee, who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he definitely missed this week, and he may miss the following week, which is pretty significant, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I just want to take a look at the out-of-town scores and see what's happened. We might be able to give you a bit of a breakdown into the finals. If Josh Pasco is still listening in, we'd love you to send it through to us. Rockhampton, though, absolutely goes into Townsville and smashes the Heat 104-77. So I think that drops Townsville to the 3rd spot, pushes Gold Coast up to the 2 spot, which means Gold Coast will take on the University of Sunshine Coast Rip. Townsville, I think, will then have to take on Mackay. And then the 4-5 game is Rockhampton at Cairns. So, geez, there's some really, really tough matchups in the quarterfinals. This is the best time of year. The QBL this year has been excellent, but finals is really, it's up to anybody's games, isn't it?
It certainly is, and even Rocky Cairns, that's a cracker too. So.
And Rocky went into Cairns only a couple weeks ago and put a beat down on Cairns, so they go in there with some confidence.
Well, we talked about Rocky with their group coming in late. A couple of people came in late. Roberto was injured, Rocky's pretty good at where you said they're going to finish 6th?
5th, I think.
Yeah. So, they're a really solid group with good versatility as well. A little bit different to the other teams, not as shooting heavy as, say, a Logan or a Rip, but, really, really interesting matchups coming.
All right, Josh confirmed that I got it right. So I did get one final scenario finally right after all the results have come in. So it only took me about 8 goes of it. But let's just get you guys' final thoughts, Dan. Pretty scrappy affair from Southwest, but Logan was awesome tonight. And thoughts on the game, thoughts heading into finals?
I'm not sure where to start. I think the game was what we expected it to be, and that Southwest obviously undermanned, Nelson being out, not only for the points he produces, but the position on the floor in terms of the floor general is always going to be a big out, so that hurts them obviously. But they hung around for a half or close to a half, but in the end, the talent on Logan's team shone through, and they put themselves right on the map and right on the radar for all QBL teams to say, we're an 8 seed, but we're more than capable of making some noise over the next month or so. So I think from both of your comments, if we look ahead to the matchups, USC just went to the Gold Coast a few weeks ago and got a win on the road. Hopefully Anthony Petrie's back and that changes things, but that's going to be a good matchup. Logan-Brisbane, we've discussed, it's going to be a great matchup next week, given what we've just seen Logan do tonight. The matchup up north, Rocky Cairns, Mackay, Townsville, these are all great teams. So for the next month or so, we're going to be treated to some really good basketball, and I'm looking forward to keeping a track of it all.
And I should put the caveat in, Gold Coast still does need to beat Gladstone. They're up by 8 with 6:46 to go in that game. Gold Coast must win that to move up to 2. If they lose that one, I believe Townsville goes into the 2nd seed, and then the matchups change around a little bit. It will then be Mackay, I think, in Gold Coast.
Okay. How about Taylor Green still putting up double-doubles, by the way?
He's a machine.
He's ageless.
Absolute machine. Dave, quick thoughts on the game and the finals before we wrap things up.
Yeah, it's a disappointing way to end the season for the Pirates, but I think for most parts they fought well all season long, and again you need a little bit of depth. You had Bairstow in; he was always going to go to college. And then Larkin's injury late, that hurt too. So, but for Logan, we were critical of them being inconsistent, and rightfully they have been. But they hit form at the right time of the year, which is pretty good. So, Coach Cairns got them hopefully raring to go for next week.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's going to wrap things up. But don't forget, next week we will have a couple of quarterfinal games for you. We will have a women's quarterfinal game. We will also have a men's quarterfinal game. Guys, this is the best time of year. It's like Christmas for us basketball fans, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And realistically, it doesn't matter where we end up or what game we're going to go see, because in the men and the women's, all 4 games are going to be of incredible quality. And, just because you may finish in first and teams are in 8th doesn't mean it's not going to be competitive. So no matter what happens, it's going to be some great basketball. And I think we got quarterfinals and semifinals straight up, a week break for the Australia-America game. I think we're having a week off and then into the final series. So it really is going to be a great couple of weeks.
Yeah, and don't forget, quarterfinals and semifinals are 1-game elimination. It's not a series. It's win you advance, lose you're out. This is it. This is the best time of year. So make sure you tune in next week. And if you're not tuning into the YouTube Basketball Queensland Game of the Week, make sure you tune into any of the live streams. If you can get out to any of the games, we definitely encourage you to do that as well. But that's going to wrap it up for our regular season coverage. We will have the women's quarterfinal and a men's quarterfinal for you. I do want to take this time to thank James Bowman and the Australian Sports Network for all of their graphics and technical support, and particularly getting us back up and running when we had some technical issues to start the women's game. I do have to thank my co-commentators, Dave Derwin, Dan George, and Regan Baker, also doubling up on commentary and the production, and Chris Sieber on the camera as always. And thanks everyone for all the comments and tuning in on Facebook and YouTube. We love interacting with you guys that way. Thank you guys so much for another awesome week. Thank you again to everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend at a QBL quarterfinal game. That's going to be me signing off from another QBL Game of the Week brought to you by Nothing But Net Media.